In this video, you will learn two phrases for saying without doing or instead of doing in some contexts. One uses the ない form or the negative form, while the other uses the ず form, which is the old negative form that we still sometimes use in modern Japanese, but to a much lesser extent in comparison to the ない form. First, let's have a quick recap on the ない form. As you can see from this flowchart, the two irregular verbs, する and 来る become しない and 来ない respectively. With 一段 verbs, you drop the る ending and add ない. For example, 食べる 食べない いる いない With 五段 verbs, however, you have to pay attention to the last mora and see if it consists of a consonant plus a vowel or only of a vowel. If the last mora has a consonant and a vowel, then you delete the vowel and add あない. For example, 書く書かない 知る知らない On the other hand, if the last mora is just a vowel, then replace it with わない For instance, 会う会わない言う言わない Now, the ず form is almost identical to the ない form. The difference lies only in the conjugation of する to do. In the ない form, する becomes しない whereas in the ず form, する becomes せず The rest is the same. Hence, 食べる食べずいるいず書く書かず知る知らず会う会わず言う言わず Now that we are familiar with both verb forms, let's find out how to use them to say without doing or instead of doing. The phrase with the ない form is ないで, while the phrase with the ず form is ずに. Both these phrases have exactly the same meaning, but since the ず form is more archaic, ずに sounds more formal. Here are some example sentences to illustrate the use of these two phrases. おじいちゃんは地球を破壊しないで立ち去った。おじいちゃんは地球を破壊しないで立ち去った。おじいちゃんは地球を破壊せずに立ち去った。おじいちゃんは地球を破壊せずに立ち去った。Grandpa left without destroying the earth. おばあちゃんは家族との面会に来ないで他の囚人と遊んでいた。おばあちゃんは家族との面会に来ないで他の囚人と遊んでいた。おばあちゃんは家族との面会に来ずに他の囚人と遊んでいた。おばあちゃんは家族との面会に来ずに他の囚人と遊んでいた。Grandma was playing with other inmates instead of coming to see her family. In this example, I translated ないで and ずに as instead of, but I could have also said without coming. お姉ちゃんは一度も太陽を見ないで死んだ。お姉ちゃんは一度も太陽を見ないで死んだ。お姉ちゃんは一度も太陽を見ずに死んだ。お姉ちゃんは一度も太陽を見ずに死んだ。My older sister died without seeing the sun even once. お兄ちゃんはお金を持たないでレストランに行った。お兄ちゃんはお金を持たないでレストランに行った。お兄ちゃんはお金を持たずにレストランに行った。お兄ちゃんはお金を持たずにレストランに行った。My older brother went to a restaurant without taking money with him. Pretty easy, right? Before we end this episode, I should mention that ないで has another use. ないで can be a casual negative request or command. If you recall, the て form without ください can express casual requests and commands. For instance, こっち来て、こっち来て、come here. This is a casual way of saying, こっちに来てください、こっちに来てください。Please come here. The same can be done with the negative form, ないで. For instance, 来ないで means don't come, while 来ないでください means please don't come. ずに cannot be used in this way. Therefore, you cannot say something like 来ずに to say don't come. There are many other expressions that feature the nai form and the zu form, so I'll make more videos in the future, especially because you haven't even seen the full conjugation of zu yet. Zu undergoes some crazy transformations when conjugated, so stay tuned.